Right, now let's continue. So the next thing before we display the points up here, let's create some enums that we are going to use throughout the game, okay? So let's go to constant, and then after outside this constant class down here, let's create some enum. Okay, so the first one is going to be enum for computer level, okay? So let's see. Okay, so this is going to be computer level, which is going to be easy, medium, and hard. And then let's say enum for results. So this is going to be win, lose, draw, but let's also add another result, which is going to be quit. Okay, great. If you decide to quit, we want to show you that. And then also now let's get enum for game mode. Okay, so the game mode, this one, we don't need to check this is time or is wait, because this one in the game provider, we've already added a boolean, which is what is that? So we have is time mode. Yeah, we have this boolean. Okay, now this mode that we want to check is single player or multiplayer. Okay, single player or multiplayer. Okay, this is the game mode. Okay, so maybe let's give it a bit different name from the, so that it can directly say about this. So we can say what can we say? Maybe let's let AI decide for us. Enum for, let's say, enum for single or multiplayer. Let's just let it this. Okay, it's still going to say game mode. Okay, anyway, let's just keep it like that. So let's say single, let's just complete it, single player, multiplayer. All right, now next we are going to get the enum that we are going to use later on, not now. Okay, so enum for sign in type. Okay, sign in type. Okay, so this one we're going to use later on in, so we have Google, Facebook, Apple, or maybe we can also add phone and email. Okay, this one is just for later on. We're just creating it for future use. Okay, and then now that we have these enums, we can go ahead and then create that. And then also we can initialize these enums in our provider. So let's go back to our provider class. So first, let's initialize those enum. So let's do enums. And then let's see if Copilot will assist us. If it won't, we're just gonna start by, which one can we start with? We can get the results for the enum. Result, this is going to be a result which is going to be initialized to, we can initialize it to lose. Okay, so we can say result dot, okay, let's just say win by default. No, anyway, let's just check lose by default. And then next, so this one, let's say results enum. Let's say computer level enum, computer level enum. This one is going to be computer level. What did we name that? Let's go back to the constant. I'm just gonna copy that, come back here, and then paste it here. So this is going to be computer level, which is going to be initialized to easy. Computer level dot easy, like that. And then next one, we have to initialize what else is the game mode. Okay, so game mode enum. So this is going to be the, okay, I don't know why my assistant is getting, it's not just reading this so that I can type them faster. So I'm just gonna type game mode enum, then game mode enum. So this one we're going to initialize it to single player. Okay, now we have these enums. We can also get the getters for these enums. So here we're going to get let's start with the result, and then we get a result, which is going to return our result like that. Then we can do the next. Okay, now this is, I think my internet is slower because I should already be doing this, which is going to be computer level, and then we are going to get our computer level, and then next we are going to get the game mode, get game mode, which is going to return our game mode. All right, now that the enums are initialized, we can go ahead and now create that widget. So here, let's come on the widgets here and then right click, and then here we can say new file. So this one, let's name it as a what can you name this? Let's say points display dot. So let's again initialize a stateless widget, which is going to be points display. And then here, you know, we have to return a consumer widget. So here it's going to read from the game provider. And then down here, we need to create that builder. So we can just copy in either of these so that we don't waste time. So here we can just copy that and come here and then paste that. And then we create the file like that. So now here we need to display our points. Okay. Now here we need to call our methods from the provider. So first of all, we're going to call our my score. So this is going to come from the game provider which is going to be my score. We named it as score. Okay. Then next we have to get the computer score. Okay. So we're going to get final computer score. This is going to come from the game provider what is that computer score. Great. Now the next thing we're going to check if the game is currently playing. So all of these checks we need to be checking is playing, because we only want to display the scores here if the game is playing. Okay, so let's go equals game provider dot is playing. That's how we're going to get that. And then now here we also need to check final is a single player. So here we're going to get if game provider dot game mode is equals to game mode dot single player. Great. So this is how we check if it is single player. Okay. So now down here we need to return. So first of all, we need to check if it is playing, only then that we can display that. So here, let's return. First, we are going to check is playing. If it is playing, we are going to return our, let's wrap everything in the card widget. Okay. So this card widget, so here we need to put a question mark. Then if it is not playing, we just need to return a constant of sized box. Okay, like that. So inside the card here, that's where we need to create our widget. Okay. So first, the child has got a child, and then in this child, let's first of all put a row widget. So now inside this row, we want to check now. First of all, we only want to show this row if it's a single player. Okay, so here we'll check if it's a single player. Single. Okay, I'm just gonna, this should be is single. Okay, I'm gonna copy that and then I'm gonna paste that. So if it is single, we want to show this row, else we want to show just a widget. So this widget, let's create a separate widget to display here. So first of all, let's just put the container here. Okay, we're going to put what we can put inside the container. So inside this row now, let's give it some children. Okay, so let's give this row children. So why are we having an error here? Let's see, we are missing something. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So here, first of all, we are returning a card. Now inside this card, we are going to have children. Okay, so anyway, this, let's change to a sized box. It doesn't want to return a container. So now inside this row, we have to put our display, because we want to put our points here, and then we can put a verses in the middle, and then the computer's points here. So what we can do here is to create a widget to put here as a first child. Okay, so let's make that widget. So first of all, let's return a column. In this column now, this column will also have children, and then the first child of this column is going to be a text. So this is going to be a text widget, and then now inside this text, we want to put the the label which says points. Okay, so here we can say points, and then after this child, we can put the size box. Okay, so let's put another size box here, and then this size box is going to be, let's give it a width of 80, and then after that we can give it a child which is going to be the divider. Okay, so now inside this divider we can have a color, which is going to be colors dot gray, and then after the color, what else we can have? We can have maybe the thickness, let's put it to 0.5, and then after that divider, after this sized box. Okay, so this, let's just put a constant keyword on top here. Okay, so that goes away. So we have a column with a which says points, and then it's got a divider. Below that divider, that's where we want to put our points here. So now here we're going to have another text widget which is going to get the score here. Okay, so this is going to be my score. So it's not reading here because we have put the constant on top here. Okay, let's remove that. Now we can call my score to string. Okay, because we want this to be, it has to be the string because it's inside the text widget. Now we can put the constant keyword here and the constant keyword here. Okay, so this column is what we're going to put, and then in the middle of this column, we want to put another. So this is the first child, this column. The second child is going to be a text widget, which just says verses, okay, like that. And then right after this text widget, we have to copy this column again, then paste it here. And then, so this one we can say my points. And then here we can say PC, okay. We can say PC or we can say computer, just like that, okay. Or this one we can just simply just say points, and then this say we can say computer points. Now here we need to have a constant keyword, and then these children we need to put the main axis alignment. So first inside this column we want to say main axis alignment dot center, and then let's copy that, let's put that there. And then the children of this row we can say main axis alignment dot space evenly, like that. All right, now let's go ahead and test this. So remember here we will only display this if it is playing, okay. So to test, so this computer score, let's copy, and then we need to put it here in the computer score, okay. Now to test this, all we have to go is to go inside the game screen, and then you can see in this expanded here, on top of this there is a word display, and then there is this. So on top, because this is column, so on top of this we can also display this, which is a, what did you name it, points display. All right, we can put a comma there. Okay, now let's hot reload, because if we hot reload right now we won't see any change. Let's just wait for it, okay, because we are only showing this when it's playing, and right now we know that this variable is playing is false. If we go to the game provider, this is playing. Where is it? Is playing. So let's change this to true for now, just to test it. Then let's hot reload one more time. That's where you can see that we are displaying these, okay, the points. Great. So the other thing now is let's just change the padding, okay. Let's go to game screen, and then this padding, this one we can first, let's copy this and then change this to 20. Or what we can do is we can remove this and then put this as a symmetric. Then we can say horizontal, it could be 8, and then vertical we can change that to about 20.0. Now let's hot reload. We can have something like that, and then also maybe this one, if we want, we can change it to 50. Let's hot reload. We have something like that, okay. So this also below here, okay, you can see that we have that padding there. So let's just leave this to all, and then let's just have that. I think it's a good idea just to put the padding inside. Let's leave this like this, and then here we can have the sized box, okay. Sized box with a height of 20. We can copy that, and then down here also let's have a size box. Let's hot reload. Okay, yeah, let's keep it like that. All right, so that's it for this one. In the next video, because now we know that even when we start here, we are going to be displaying the points, because so the reason why we're showing this as top, because we have set the is playing to true. Right now the functionality, even if when it's top, it's still working. Okay, right now if we start playing, once we just make any word here, it's going to update our point. Okay, pendant, you can see that our point is getting updated. Okay, you can see that, everyone. To Cancer. Okay, it's game over. Our points is 5. Okay, so maybe let's end this video here. In the next one, now we need to put this properly, or maybe before we leave, let's just format this points widget. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this points display, and then what we need to do here is simply to get this widget and then extract it. Okay, let's extract a widget. So this one, I'm going to name it as a, what can we name this? Display. What can you name this? Let's say reusable display. Okay, reusable display. I'm just going to name it like that. Okay, now if we get into this reusable display, it's a stateless widget. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass the points. So let me name this as points, and then also let's pass another required this dot label. Okay, so after this, what we want to do is these points is going to be an int, and then let's also get the final string, which is going to be a label. So label like this. Let's collect the one on top here. All right, and then here, instead of that, we're just gonna call our label. We can remove the constant keyword, and then also here we're just gonna call our points. Let's copy that and then paste it here. All right, so now that we have this reusable display, so here all we have to do is just to say label. We're going to name it as a points, and then here the points, we're going to get my score. So this has to be a string. Okay, great. Now we can get that and then also paste it here. This one is going to be computer, and then here is going to be computer score. So now you can see that now we have handled it. So now even here below, instead of the size box, we're just gonna call our points here. This child, we're just gonna call our points. If we are in multiplayer, we're just going to show our score here. Okay, so why can't we read my score from here? Let's see, because we're calling constant here. All right, now this widget, now we can just cut it from here, then create a widget here which is called reusable display dot. So this is how we can create the reusable widgets that we can reuse everywhere. Okay, now we just need to import this. Great, so that is done. We can remove that, and then We can also remove the unused imports there, and then we still have that the way it should have. Now, if we hot restart, we're still having the same results. All right. Now that this is fixed, what we just need to do is go back in the game provider and then set back this is playing to false, because now let's hot reload. The next time we are going to start the game, so you can see that now we are showing this, okay, but also this one we can't show here. We only want to show if it is playing. So maybe this video is still going. Let's go back to this, and then we also don't want to show this if the game hasn't started. Okay, so what we actually need to do is to copy this and then put it here, then paste it, and then now here we just need to return the size box. Okay, if the game hasn't started, we still don't want to show anything. Okay, so we can close that like that, and then now here instead of space evenly, let's put space between, and then this card let's wrap, this row, let's wrap it inside the padding widget. Okay, so let's wrap this with a padding, which means we have wrapped. Okay, so we only have wrapped this, so let's go back. Let's wrap this with a padding widget. So like that, and then that's all. Now, because we want to test it first, let's hot reload. We see that we won't see that, and then again let's go back to the game provider. Let's set this back to true. If we hot reload, now that is true, we want to see how that looks. So okay, I've changed the wrong one. Let's put this back to false. This one, let's change this to true. Now if we hot reload, okay, let's start it from the beginning like that. You can see that that's how we want these to look. Okay, so one other thing is like this is not really looking nice. The padding is not much. Okay, but let's not waste time on these. Okay, so this UI is okay for now. If you go to the point display, we can see that that is fine. Or what we need to do is to move the padding inside here. Okay, so let's remove this padding from here, and then let's wrap this row inside the padding widget. Let's wrap this in the padding, and then let's also wrap this with a padding widget. Okay, now if we hot reload, we want something like that. Okay, great. Okay, now we are done with this. The next thing to do now is to move on with the function and more function, because as we know that there is more things we need to be done. We need to do here. So let's just go back inside the game provider and set this back to false. And then with that, let's end this video right here. In the next video, we'll continue with our functions. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.